They seated me at table 47, the one by the kitchen doors where the plus ones who don't matter usually sit. My son apologized to his colleagues, saying, "Sorry, she insisted on coming." I watched him schmooze with the wealthy donors, never imagining that the biggest donor of the night was sitting right behind him, invisible and forgotten. Before we begin, make sure to like and subscribe, and please tell us which city you're watching from and whether you faced a similar situation to my situation in the comments below. My name is Eleanor, I'm 72 years old, and I live in Miami, Florida. Tonight, I was at the Hearts for Children charity gala, the city's most prestigious philanthropic event. It was a night that was very important to my son Robert's firm, which was one of the sponsors. But for me it had a different meaning entirely. I had started getting ready at 6 p.m. I'd chosen a simple navy dress from my closet and put on modest jewelry. Looking at myself in the mirror, I remembered the young woman who had attended her first charity event 40 years ago. Back then, my husband and I wrote $50 checks and thought we were being very generous. When Robert came to pick me up, he glanced at my dress and slightly frowned. "You look great, Mom," he said, but his tone suggested otherwise. On the drive there, he briefed me about the event. "There are going to be very important people tonight. The company director, the mayor, even the state senator is coming. Please." He paused. "Please what, Robert?" "Please don't talk too much, Mom. These people, they are different. They are used to luxury." I smiled and looked out the window. "Don't worry, son. I won't draw attention to myself." When we entered the ballroom at the Grand Miami Hotel, magnificent crystal chandeliers and gold decorations greeted me. Each table required a $500 per person fee. Robert immediately mingled with the crowd, taking me by the arm and directing me to table 47. "You can sit here, Mom. You have a nice view," he said, but the table was in a noisy corner where waiters constantly passed by carrying dishes from the kitchen. "I'll come back in a bit to introduce you to everyone." The other guests at my table were also people with +1 status like me. An elderly man, a middle-aged woman, and a young couple. We all looked a bit embarrassed, a bit lost. The conversations, laughter, and champagne glasses from the main area reached us from a distance. For the first hour, I watched Robert move from table to table. He was shaking hands with important people, exchanging business cards, laughing and talking. At one point he looked toward me and I waved slightly. He smiled and nodded back, but didn't come over. As dinner was being served, the event's host took the stage. "Dear guests, thank you so much for being here tonight. As the Hearts for Children Foundation, your support is invaluable in our mission to build a better future for children." As the speech continued, donation amounts from people at the main tables began to be announced. The Johnson family, $5,000. Martinez Company, $10,000. Thompson Foundation, $25,000. Applause came from Robert's table. I heard that he had also made a $15,000 donation and smiled with pride. He had worked hard and become a successful man. "And now," the host continued, "I want to talk about the special sponsors of this evening. Without these people, this event wouldn't have been possible." My heart started racing. I had been waiting for this moment for months. First, our silver sponsors. The list continued. Donations of $50,000, $75,000, $100,000. As each name was read, that person stood up and was applauded. And now, our biggest donor of the evening, our platinum sponsor. The host opened the card in his hand. with a donation of $2 million, Eleanor Martinez. The ballroom suddenly fell silent. It was as if everyone had held their breath. I slowly stood up. Robert's head quickly turned toward my table. His face went white, his jaw dropped. The other people at his table were also looking at me in amazement. The host continued, "Mrs. Martinez has been a secret supporter of Hearts for Children for 40 years. Would you like to introduce yourself?" I got up from the table and slowly walked toward the stage. Whispers spread throughout the ballroom. Who is she? Where did this woman come from? $2 million. When I took the microphone, I felt my hands trembling. But this time it wasn't from fear, it was from excitement. "Good evening," I began. "I'm very happy to be here today. 40 years ago, when I made my first donation to this organization, it was $50. My husband and I were a young couple, and we were doing what we could. There was complete silence in the ballroom. Everyone was listening to me. Years passed. My husband Henry started a technology company. I worked alongside him. The company grew and became successful. But we always tried to stay humble. We kept our donations to Hearts for Children secret, because we weren't doing this to show off, but to truly help. I looked toward Robert's table. He was still in shock. Henry passed away 2 years ago. But I continue to carry on his legacy. Tonight's $2 million donation is made in his name. And I want to let you know that this is just the beginning. Applause began to rise in the ballroom. First slow, then loudly. People started standing up. In my will, I have decided to leave 80% of my wealth to Hearts for Children. That means approximately $50 million. Because children's future is our future. This time the ballroom was applauding standing up. The stage lights were blinding me, but I was happy. I had finally revealed the secret I had hidden for years. When I came down from the stage, Robert met me. His eyes were filled with tears. "Mom, I didn't know." "You didn't need to know, Robert. But now you do. Why didn't you ever tell me? Why did you hide this for so many years?" I hugged him. "Because real help is done quietly, son. And because I wanted you to love me for who I am, not for my money." That night, my journey from table 47 to the main stage wasn't just a physical movement. It was the end of a 40-year story. Eleanor Martinez was no longer known as an unimportant +1, but as one of the city's biggest philanthropists. But the best part was that expression in Robert's eyes. He was no longer ashamed of his mother. He was proud. On the way home, he said, "I'll never put you in a corner again, Mom." I smiled. "That corner isn't mine anymore anyway, Robert." Because throughout the night, that was the most important place. From there I saw everything, heard everything, and when the time came, I took the stage. Sometimes the greatest power comes from being invisible. And sometimes the biggest surprise comes from the corner that everyone ignores.